YouTube too. What's good, your boy Everything Water, and water is everything my familiar. I got for you guys a crazy Void Hunter build. I'm going crazy with the Void Hunter build. I'm telling you this. I got some more coming too, but this right here is fire. Real fire. Man, if you guys like this video, man, please leave a like and subscribe. It's your boy Everything Water, and water is everything my familiar. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, coming in for an exotic armor, we're using the Falcon's Humber. Now this is the most versatile exotic for hunters by far. This skin does everything. It has stealth, it has damage, and it has stealth. You know, being able to have infinite, as long as you get a final blow, having infinite invisibilities and voluntary rounds. The buff of voluntary rounds is so crazy that all your void weapons just become nukes. You know what I'm saying? It comes crazy. It's so good. This is such a it's no matter what content you're doing, no matter what you want to do, if it's solo, if it's end game, if it's just regular content, even in PvP, the Falcons is so good. It's the best. I can honestly say it's the best exotic for hunters in Destiny 2, by far the best exotic. It can be used in any gameplay, the most versatile. It can do everything, and it shreds with any void weapon you guys can see. Most people use this with the funnel web, other weapons. The funnel web go crazy with this. I even saw me use it with that harsh language in the video. Now for our exotic weapon, we got the Monarque exotic bow. Now the Monarque exotic bow, basically when you get headshot, it explodes and has AoE damage. Now this AoE damage is extremely good. It doesn't last too long, but as long as you get headshot, once you hit that explosion AoE damage, it just ticks. And this spreads to enemies too. It's like a virus. Once it hits one enemy, you do another headshot. Once it explodes, it hits like 3 enemies. And combine that with the Falcons, the Monarque becomes a monster. It becomes a monster. You're one-shotting enemies. Sometimes you don't even get time to proc the invisibility because you're one-shotting enemies too quick. The damage is crazy, especially in the helm when the enemy has void overshield. And you using the Monarque destroys them, like absolutely destroys. Like this combo is so crazy and good because I didn't even know how good the Monarque was until recently when I seen a video of somebody talking about how good the Monarque is. And bows did get a buff recently too for PvE damage. So this combo is crazy, so good. Use this. Most of you probably have. Keep using it, man. This is a really good combo. But now let's get into the aspects, fragments, and the abilities of this build. Let's get it. Alright, going in for our subclass, we're going to be starting off, we're going to be using Mobius Quiver. Now, you're going to get your super, like, extremely fast than, like, most other Void builds. So, you could use Dreadfall, it really doesn't matter, but me, I like the damage that comes with Mobius Quiver. And you also still get weakened enemies, too, and it goes perfect with the Falcons. Now, obviously, we're going to be using Gambler's Dodge. We're going to be able to reload our melee because our melee weakens enemies, and that's going to be part of our aspects that gets us in. That also gives us another invisibility after killing a weakened enemy, which is pretty cool. Then for our grenade, we're going to be using Vortex Grenade. You can honestly use whatever you want with these names, but Vortex Grenade to me is the best for hunters. And then for our aspects, we're going to be using Vantage Step, and we're going to be using Stylish Executioner. Stylish Executioner is what I was talking about earlier. When you weaken or suppress or voluntary targets, grants invisibility. Now with Falcons, my apologies. Every time you go invisible, you get voluntary rounds. So this gives you another reason to become invisible. So now you got 2 times, because we're going to be using Vantage Step, which also gives me invisibility. So you have 2 ways to go invisible: weakening the enemy, or voluntary rounds. That's where it's an infinite amount of voluntary rounds and invisibility, because as long as you kill an enemy with voluntary rounds, which you're going to get while being invisible, you're going to stay invisible. So that's pretty neat. Now going into our fragments, Starting off, we got Echo of Vigilance. Defeating a target while your shields are depleted grants you a temporary void overshield. Now this is really good, because in any form of content, once your shields is gone, you're at your lowest, your weakest. So now if you're able to get a simple kill and get a temporary overshield that is really powerful, that's really important. Then we got Echo of Starvation. Picking up a Void Breach or Overpower grants you Devour. So this is really good because Devour feasts on energy of defeated foes. Final Blows restores you to full health. So any Final Blows restores you to full health and extends your grenade energy and Devour, which is pretty cool. And then we got Echo of Expulsion. Void ability, Final Blows have a chance, creates targets to explode. So this is pretty cool too, because now you're going to be spreading the void effect. Now if you have voluntary rounds, this is going to be spread to other enemies, so that's really good. But last but not least, Echo of Persistence. Void burst applies to you. Invisibility, Overshield, and Devour have increased duration. Now this is, you just want to be able to have an overshield, which is you're going to be getting temporary after killing an enemy when you have no shields. You want to be able to have invisibility, and you want to be able to have Devour as much as possible, so you're going to extend that duration with this build. Now this is it for my fragments, aspects, and my abilities. Now I'm going to show you guys what weapons I'm using, my stats, and my mods. So to note, going into your artifacts, you want to have these. Go ahead, screenshot this. Honestly, for my third one, when I get it, I'm going to get Elemental Embrace, because it's really good. And then obviously you want to get your Void Elemental Orb you can throw at enemies that also do pretty good damage. But yeah, now as you guys can see for my weapons, honestly I'm going Riptide, because just to freeze the Overlord or to freeze unstoppable enemies. Right here, Monarque, because Monarque grants Overlord. This is really good for them Overlord enemies you're gonna be using in the helm or in any content, and it does tick damage, which is really good. Now for my heavy, honestly I like to go retrofit, because it is void and it goes good with Golden Tricon, and or obviously more damage heavy, you go to Hothead. Auto loading holster and explosive light is a very combo. This is a god roll, you know. And my apologies. And then right here for my music or Falcons, and I'll be going into their stats. You want to always max out your resilience in any content, whatever form, unless you're doing regular strikes. Even with regular strikes, max out your stats. Your resilience. As you guys can see, I have no recovery, and that's like crazy. But because of the Monarque catalyst, every kill, because of the Monarque's catalyst, we have right here rapidly defeating targets trigger health regeneration. So as long as I'm killing targets with these two combined, I'm constantly going to be able to regenerate. So that's pretty cool. Then obviously your strongest ability is your grenade, so I have that at 85, and then mobility, won't be able to get invisibility as much as possible, is a 69. Honestly, you can get this a little bit higher if you want to, but yeah, stated like that. And then going into our mods, you guys can screenshot this, and you guys can see I have Kickstart for my mods. I'm also using our Void Weapon. Final Blows grants me ultra power, so now we're going to have our super. We get our super extremely fast too. And also right here, Orbs of Power, it also gives me health or regenerates my health, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's it for this Void build, man. This is a crazy Void build. I never really used the Monarque before, but using it now is just so much fun, because the ticks it does, like the poison ticks, the AoE damage, and it spreads, because with Volatile, this becomes a monster. So yeah, if you like this video, man, please leave a like and subscribe. It's 3 a.m. It's your boy Everything Water. And water is everything. I'm out.